Hi guys, and welcome to the Aging Games, where I talk about all things related to health, anti-aging and beauty, and especially for ladies over 50. Today's topic will be a little bit different. It's not exactly related to health or anti-aging directly, but it is related to emotional health, well-being, and love. Today I wanted to talk about how to have a long-lasting relationship, long, happy marriage. So what makes me an expert on this topic? Well, I've been married for almost 24 years and I've been with my husband for almost 26. So that's half my life, more than half my life now. And I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned over the years, some of the things that I feel make our relationship successful. So I was 25 when we first met. I was still a baby, and he's a bit older. He's 8 years older than me. A lot of things have changed between 25 and 50. You grow, you change, you evolve. We've done a lot of amazing things together. We've traveled the world. We've started successful businesses together. We had an amazing child. So there's a lot of memories and a lot of nice things that keep us together. But I think ultimately the most important thing has been, number one, mutual respect, and number two would be having similar views of the world, like having similar virtues, similar ideas, similar beliefs. I think a lot of people kind of miss out on having those kinds of conversations, before having children, before getting married. Like, how do you feel about really important issues? Like, how do you feel about circumcision? How do you feel about a home birth? What would you like to feed our child, or how long are you planning to breastfeed? Will the child be sleeping with you or not? Just, there's so many issues that throughout the years that I thought about this so much that if we would have had different views, all of this could never have worked. So I'm very lucky because my husband is very open. He's not a researcher like me, but he's very happy for me to go out and do the research. He accepts the things that I share with him and he respects my opinion. So back to respect, which is super important. So when he listens to my views, he respects them fully. And when I got pregnant and I made the choice to have a home birth and to breastfeed my son for almost 2 years, for our son to sleep with us for years, he totally, completely supported that. And that really helped to avoid a lot of different conflicts. As a new mother, I would have killed for my child. So if anybody would have gone against my wishes, it would have been a bloodbath. And also, like in a marriage or long-term relationship, while I think that having common interests is very important, it's not the most essential thing. Like I really wish that my husband and I would share more interests and could do more things together. At the same time, you have to kind of have respect for the other person's interests and wishes. So you kind of need to have a life outside of your partner. I know a lot of couples that do everything together. They don't have a life outside of the relationship. I couldn't imagine that. Like for me, it's really important to have my girlfriends. It's really important for me to do stuff away from my husband, which kind of makes me appreciate him more when I come home. My husband's a bit of a homebody. He doesn't like to go out too much. So I respect that and I don't force those things on him. I know he doesn't like to hike or go walking. He doesn't like to travel that much anymore. But at the same time, he allows me to do those things myself. And because those things are so important to me, I would go crazy if I wasn't allowed to do them. So he doesn't expect me to sit at home with him because that's where he feels most comfortable. He likes being the king of his own castle, as my friend would say. But at the same time, he allows me to go and to meet people and to have friends and to grow and to form friendships. He understands how important those are to me. And also I find that because I have my girlfriends and I have my support system, that I'm not dumping things on him that he's probably not interested in, which I think can happen. If I didn't have that support system, I'd be talking to him about all the girly stuff and probably bore him to death with it. Also, as we evolve and we change throughout the years, I think it's really important to kind of grow and evolve together. I think when people start going into completely different directions, things get very complicated. One person is completely focused on their career, another person is completely focused on something completely different, and the two just don't meet. So I think it's important to grow, it's important to change, it's important to have new views and to learn things. I mean, the way I see the world today, and even nutrition or so many things, it has evolved and changed so much throughout the years. Luckily, my husband was able to change along with me, because I think if he would have gotten stuck to where we were 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and he would still hold on to those same beliefs, it would be very difficult for me right now, because my whole belief system has changed completely since then. As far as keeping the love and the attraction and all that alive after so many years, I find what's really important for me, like I make a conscious effort to see the good things in my husband, to not to focus on the negative things, not to talk about the negative things too much to other people, so that I'm not concentrating on those things, because anything that you focus on, that you put your mind to, that will be magnified. So I try to see the good in him, and he has so many great, fantastic qualities. So I try to focus on those, and I make really a conscious effort to open my heart and to love him every single day, which, you know, some days it's easier than others. I'm sure you guys can relate to that, but it has to stay there. And I say this to my girlfriends all the time: how you would treat your best friend, you need to treat your husband the same way. Because a lot of times, the way we treat our best girlfriends, like we give them so much love and respect, and we would never yell at them and don't have these strange expectations of them, and we don't tell them off if they're not doing something the right way. We're patient with them, because otherwise we wouldn't have friends. So think of how you treat your best friend, and then think of how you treat your husband. So if you're not giving your husband the same kind of love and respect and tolerance and patience, then something's wrong. I mean, this is the person that's closest to you in your life, other than your children or your parents. And why would you not be giving them the same kind of love and respect that you would to a friend? So I think once you get into that state of mind, that changes everything. Like, I've never sworn at my husband. Okay, we've raised our voices, but we've never had like a fighting match or a screaming match with each other. And I think because I give him that respect, he also gives that same respect back to me. And I think that makes a really big difference in our relationship, and especially in the long term, to keep the friendship and the joy and the love alive. Because what happens as you're getting older, obviously you're not going to have that same kind of wild, crazy, passionate love that you feel in the beginning. It grows into a really beautiful friendship kind of love, where you're still attracted to the person, you adore that person, you look up to that person, but it becomes a very comfortable love, like a, you know, like a really warm blanket where you just feel safe and secure. And I think that is much more powerful than that passion that you feel in the beginning of a relationship, when all your hormones are just tricking you into falling in love and procreating. Throughout the years, this changes and it becomes something much more stable and beautiful. I also think back to friendships, like if you have a friend for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you're gonna appreciate that friendship, and you're gonna appreciate that friend so much more because they've been with you all these decades. So why would we say that, oh, I've been with this person for 20 years, so now I'm bored? Like, why would you not also appreciate them because they've been by your side for all these years? And you know, you look back and all the memories are like shared memories, and all these beautiful things you've done together. So why not focus on that and appreciate all the amazing stuff and all the amazing things you did as a couple that have brought you closer? So I think it's really just a matter of changing the perception of how you see the other person and how you see the relationship and what you focus on, and to stop watching all this crap on TV that is just promoting how wonderful it is to be single, like, you know, girl power and all this stuff that just makes me crazy, because it's so anti-family, anti-marriage, anti-relationship. It's all just showing and portraying all these single ladies, 40s, 50s, all having a ball, and all they need is their girlfriends. They don't need any guy at all because women are. But is that really true? Like, are those women truly happy? I'm sure some are, and some are choosing to be that way, which is fine. But I think overall, I mean, we are pack animals. We want to belong. We want to be a part of something. You know, like for me, family is so important. It's the most important thing in my life. And I know so many people that feel the same way. So if you're in a relationship, and especially a long-term relationship, appreciate how genuine and how rare that is and how important it is to keep that going. I had a friend many years ago, this was like going back 20 years when we were living in Florida still, and she was always bashing her husband. So every time we'd get together, she was just on and on and on and on and on about how horrible her husband is. And as we were meeting every day, we were working out together, and I found myself having to chime in. Oh yeah, that makes me think of my husband. Yes, you're right. He's the same. And then I started seeing my husband in a different light through her eyes, which after a few months, it really scared me. And I actually ended the friendship because I realized, okay, this is not going in a good direction. And she's just going to end up dragging me down with her. So I think when you get into this pattern of complaining, of finding the faults, getting together with other people that are also sharing the same kind of stuff, and just going on and about this, again, back to focusing on the bad, and it's just going to magnify it. You're going to go home, you're going to be irritated, your husband's going to get irritated, and the whole thing is just going to spiral out of control. So I think it's just nipping those things in the bud when they first happen so that it doesn't get out of control, and keeping the love and keeping the focus and keeping things positive and looking for the good things and looking for the positive things and always appreciating those. So in finishing off, I wanted to say a few things about physical intimacy, which I think can be definitely kept alive and kept strong throughout the years and even well into long marriage. For me, physical intimacy is very important. The physical touch, being hugged and kissed and cuddled on a regular basis. Sex is also super important to keep that passionate bond, to keep that love bond, so it doesn't just turn into like really just a friendship with no physical intimacy at all, where it's like a brother and sister living together. I could not even imagine being in that kind of situation. So whatever needs to be done to keep the fire alive and to keep the sparks going, I'm happy to do that. And there are many ways to do those things. I'm not going to detail them all in this video, but I think just keeping the physical contact, the daily physical contact alive is really important. So guys, in today's world where more than 50% of marriages end in divorce, it's more important than ever to try to find solutions on how to keep the marriage going, not just for the sake of the children, as some people do, but also for yourself. It's not easy in the dating world out there. I definitely would not, I can't even imagine this Tinder and trying to find people online, and it's just so complicated, and also so many choices, you know, like how do you just keep swiping and when do you stop, and you're thinking, oh well, there's maybe something even better out there because, well, there's another 100 guys that are writing me, and they say, I think it was the book called The Art of Happiness, the more choices you have, the more difficult it is to be happy with the choice that you've made. So, you know, I've made a choice almost 26 years ago to love this man, and I chose him to be my husband forever 24 years ago. I intend to honor that, and I intend to do whatever it takes to keep our relationship strong and to keep it going. I know as a woman, I probably have to put in a lot more effort than my husband does. You know, as long as I'm getting something back, I'm happy to continue to do that because it is so important to me. It's important for my well-being. It's important for my state of mind. And, you know, they have proven that even people that are in bad marriages still live longer than people who end up separated or divorced. I can't even imagine, like, at this stage of my life, just starting everything all over again. So that's pretty much my story that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm sure you have some interesting things to share with me. If you have some tips or questions or anything, please comment below. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching, guys.